It's a search near futurism.
I'm here with my gun.
Right, hello. Welcome to Near Futurist TV. I need to make sure I've got all my echoes and things off, which I haven't. There we go. Anyway, yes, I am indeed your host. I seem to have some echo here anyway. I'm not sure why, or it's still not fully off. Right, okay, now it's properly off. Seem to have a bit of crackle as well. I'm not too sure what's going off there, but hopefully you don't mind too much. These things happen from time to time, regrettably. Anyway, coming up over the next hour, we've got an interview with Cadence Noir, which I'm looking forward to very much. Saw them live as I played with them in Nottingham recently, so that's going to be very interesting indeed, I think. And I've got some promo to do for acts that are coming up in just over a week's time in London with me. We've got Tantrum Zentrum, Spew, Punk Disco, and me, and Zoe Simon, Sex Bandit. But first, I think we'll kick things off with a bit of Priscilla's. So let me find you a bit of Priscilla's music, and we'll get that on. My good friend Val Gwither involved in that band. This is Angela by the Priscillas. Just one thing I need to sort before we get that going. Alright, okay, that's that off. Right, Angela by the Priscillas. Here we go.
If you're on a date and your date ain't working out, you're trying to play it cool, but inside you're freaking out, and it seems a little dodgy. Well, it all seems a bit weird. They're not who they say they are, and you're thinking, what am I doing here? Angela, Angela, oh, 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 Angela, Angela, oh, oh, oh. Oh, met him on a fast day, that you leave, but now you're face to face. It seems a bit creepy, and you just need a safe space. You don't like this situation, you just wanna get out. Are you off your medication? You just wanna scream and shout. Angela, Angela, oh, oh, oh. Angela, Angela, oh, oh, oh. Angela, Angela, oh, oh, oh. Angela, Angela, oh, oh, oh.
Hi, I'm sitting at the table across the room there, and I'm with this guy, and he just seems a little bit creepy. We only met this afternoon, and I don't know. I just don't want to end up in the boot of his car in a body bag. So I noticed a poster on the wall, and it said to ask for.
When you're with a weirdo, and you need another hero, alone, go dancing in a disco, pogo, when you need a way to get out. When you got the hero, don't need another psycho. Oh no, I can't even find my friends. When will this nightmare please end? Angela, Angela, oh, oh, oh. 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 Angela, oh, oh, oh. Angela, oh, oh, oh. Angela, 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 Angela, oh, oh, oh.
That was really rather good, I think. I liked that immensely. In case you don't know, there's a little bit more to that video, which I cunningly cut off there, but anyway, I might pop it back in later in post. I wonder, I'm considering that bit sort of in the middle about sort of don't want to end up in a body bag and that sort of thing, makes me wonder if it's muchly about the Ask for Angela system we have in pubs here. If you don't know it, because you may not be from the UK, we have this system where you can go to the bar and ask for Angela, and you get a taxi or something arranged so that you can escape from a date that you think is going wrong in perhaps a really, really bad way. So yeah, I think it's a very sensible scheme to have. Anyway, I think we should play something from our guests. We should have a bit of Cadence Noir. I will provide links and so forth to the Priscillas in the description and so forth later on. So that's when it goes on YouTube, because I'll do all that sort of post-production, if you like. Right then, so let's have Cadence Noir, Weighing Owls, is it? No, we'll have Reckless Endeavour, live video at Bloodstock. So here we go. Let's get this video on.
This is a burden, can't bear alone. Ask if you bear it with me. Tear down the statuettes, shatter the throne. Open your eyes and you'll see. This is a burden I can't bear alone. Ask if you bear it with me. Tear down the statuettes, shatter the throne. Open your eyes and you'll see.
Well, that was really rather good, I think. I'm growing increasingly keen on what they get up to, as it's really their live show which really won me over in the first place, and then, you know, sort of getting into their music afterwards is getting really, really enjoyable indeed. Tell you what, let's have a chat about Cadence Noir. And is anyone else going to be joining us, or is it just the fabulously glamorous singer that we have along?
I use the term singer loosely. Yeah, Emma is currently somewhere on the M60.
That may make it a little bit difficult for her to join us, but, you know, we don't want to cause any
She might make it. Depends how long you want to chat to us for, man.
Well,
any sane person would keep it blissfully quick.
Yes, that's what you say to all the girls, I'm sure. Right, anyway, so obviously not necessarily humongous numbers of people know about Cadence Noir, but that's why you have at least played Bloodstock, unlike, say, me, but hey.
Twice.
Yeah,
Played it in 2014 as well. I saw that you had us up from 2018 on your channel list there.
Yeah, I'm. That's absolutely brilliant performance. Emma dressed fabulously in that performance as well. But I mean, dresses rather fabulously generally anyway. So we should probably sort of talk something about where Cadence Noir all began.
We've been going for a very long time, bro. We started in 2011. We all met up at a pub in Beeston in Nottingham called the Greyhound. I was working sound at that venue. We had an open mic. And basically, all of us, we're in and around our late 30s, early 40s. We'd all been in a succession of terrible metal bands in our teens and 20s. And basically, at the open mic, we weren't writing songs to a brief anymore. We weren't trying to be, a metal band, a thrash band, a power band, or writing to specifically get somewhere. We just wanted to play music we enjoyed playing and jam together, and that's how we've ended up with the biblical amalgamation of whatever it is we now sound like.
Which sort of considering like the name of the band, I was originally, before I checked you out on YouTube and everything, I kind of expected something more specifically dark gothy sounding and perhaps more metal, but
yeah, we get that a lot. We just basically went for something that sounded fabulously pretentious.
I appreciate that. I mean, the thing is, I must admit I was a little perhaps confused by sort of the idea of being called dark sound, which if there's a little bit of sort of knowingness to it, it makes it a whole load more fun, which I think that's one of the great things that I enjoyed about the Cadence Noir performance. It means business, but it's not entirely taking yourself too seriously. So what was the idea to follow the sort of more folk route rather than end up, is it just it just happened with the people you met, or were you all sort of kind of keen on the sort of metal, the folk kind of influences, like say New Model Army for obvious choice there?
Truthfully, when we started out, it was myself and another guitarist just doing like acoustic blues and rock, and Emma, our now violinist. When me and her started going out, and I found out that she played violin, I invited her to jam with us, and we became a three-piece. And basically, like I said, with the whole writing process, basically, like I said, as you mentioned, we don't take ourselves seriously. I don't want to ruin what we have. I basically write some lyrics. Oh, hello.
Yes, I've got it working now. It's my phone overheated, so.
Hey. But yeah, no. Long story short, when Emma joined us, like I said, all of our songs start life with me writing, just an acoustic song. I take it into band practice, and Nick, Tom, Dave, and Emma just, I'm not like, if they like what I've written, then I don't tell them what to put over it. Everyone puts over whatever it is they want, and that becomes what you end up hearing live, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's for, again, such a dark name. There isn't really that much in the music that is obviously of the sort of darker side. I mean, you could easily pass for fairly straight sort of folk band, and that's kind of interesting, I think, for a lot of the sound that we hear. But then you had those much more sort of strident, aggressive vocals at times, which kind of have a sort of more punk sensibility to them. I think, would you say there's a fair bit of sort of punk influence to the Cadence Noir philosophy and so forth?
This is where I might horribly disappoint you.
It can be whatever it is. I mean, the thing is, it can come from any way, shape, or form. But
my idea of punk is like Millencolin, Black Flag, No Effects, Offspring.
And punk can be anything. I mean, there's so many different forms of it. I mean, it's really just a label attached after the fact. So I mean, it does exist other than, say, the Sex Pistols and the sort of 70 5 to 77 crew and so forth. It's evolved, and a lot of the times these days, though, it seems sort of 60-year-old men playing chords and shouting. But obviously, as you do a cover of New Model Army, were they sort of instrumental at all in the sort of route that you followed, or did that just sort of flow naturally from where you happen to be musically?
Right, so it's going to sound like bullshit, but it is true. I grew up in Chester, and unbeknownst to me, every Saturday, we go and hang out or skate in Chester City Centre, and there was this violinist, like, just busking in the middle of Chester by the square.
Wouldn't happen to be Elaine Johnson, would it?
Yeah, as it happens. I did not find that out until literally, fast forward 20 years, I've met Emma, we're in a band, like I said, I don't know if I mentioned, we started life as a covers band.
Yeah, I know you mentioned that in Nottingham to me, but I don't think we've mentioned it on here yet. Yeah,
so long story short, our ethos is a covers band, and it served us well. We've got one of these gigs coming up this weekend as it happens. Like I said, I worked sound in this venue in Nottingham, and it was your classic, covers band, tribute band, biker pub. And week in, week out, I'm listening to DC, Zeppelin, Sabbath, just getting fucking butchered. And we wanted to do something different. And I recognised, and again, this is going to make me sound terrible, any member of the band will tell you I have arguably the worst taste. Like, I am a total new metal kid. I'm Korn, Machine Head, Deftones, 2001 is my bag, right? But obviously, we weren't going to be playing any of that. So Emma, Nick, and Tom, they were the ones who dictated the covers that we did. And specifically, we wanted to do stuff that no one else was doing that kind of suited the look. Like me personally, this all comes from when I first started playing guitar, the early licks that I was taught, like Deep Purple, Mark Bolan, Susie and the Banshees. As soon as I discovered that look, that's where this has come from. I've been dressing like this since I was 13. It's not specifically linked to, a music type thing. I just love the fun stuff. But yeah, Emma said, look, there's this song by a band called New Model Army. I'm very sorry. I had no idea who they were at the time. And she played me the track, and I was just like, awesome. And then when she brought some information, I was like, that's the fucking violinist I grew up with. And she was like, yeah, I said Alan Johnson. And I was like, fuck me, man. But yeah, she picked New Model Army. She picked We Do Temple of Love. Nick's picked some of the darker stuff we do, like some Therapy, Alice Cooper. I should know, we've got like a list of like 50 covers, and now I can't think of a single one. I'm very sorry.
And it's always the same if you're actually in a situation of pressure and you're trying to remember things, naturally they all disappear from your mind. I see you've got one of the Epic Sports Direct mugs there, which holds 10 gallons of coffee or whatever liquid you happen to put in it.
Tetley at the moment.
Tetley.
Oh yeah, well obviously we do the Cure. I forgot about them.
Oh, there you go. You see, we're remembering things all the time. That's the power of tea, I assume. It's a good advert.
We've got a 2 hours covers gig this Saturday, so I hope
you remember some of them anyway. You seemed a little surprised that I seem to know Vagabonds. Well, I say no, but considering the fact that I've sort of DJ'd it every time I've DJ'd, it's amazing how the lyrics sort of completely disappeared from my mind. But do you find other people seem to know Vagabonds fairly well or something?
Yes. It's surprisingly, like I said, we've over the years, we've got a bike rally coming up in August. We've done steampunk weddings and alternative fairs and things like that. We've done some stuff for the Whitby crowd. What was this? Goth Up North, I think they call themselves, or something.
Carpe Noctem, sort of.
That's it, yeah. Bit up themselves, if I'm being honest, but. But yeah, Love Like Blood.
Yes.
We do. I'm sorry to do this because I sing it. Who's the band?
It's Killing Joke.
Killing Joke, right? Yeah. So we do that one. That tends to bring the house down. Personally, we do play it well. I find it a bit boring. It's pretty much the same thing, start to finish. But yeah, when we play to certain crowds, songs that just blow them up, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's great to see. I enjoy playing them, and like I said, for me personally, I really enjoy playing them for the fact that it was Emma and Nick and Tom that brought these songs, and I didn't know them, so I'm not
Yeah.
like sick and tired of hearing them, if you know what I mean.
I'm just doing the covers sort of creep into the songs you write that are originals. Do you think they inform some of what you do as Cadence Noir as original music?
I'd probably be lying if I said no. It's not a conscious decision, but obviously, the years and years that we've all spent playing, various different the songs that we're into. Like, so when you pick up your instrument to practice, you invariably play other people's stuff to warm up or whatever. I mean, I'm 38. I don't have the practice regime I used to. When I was a teenager, I was practicing to Steve Vai, Joe Petrucci, Satriani, Yngwie Malmsteen. I don't do any of that stuff anymore. I don't think I could play it anymore if I tried.
No.
I just like simple stuff. I enjoy playing my instrument, and the songs that we play are great fun to play live. So I don't actively try and write stupidly complex stuff. And Emma herself comes up with a lot of the violin licks that start a lot of our songs. She writes those, and then we're just like, right, we should probably find out what chords go underneath that.
Yeah, it's always handy to know.
Yeah.
Also, there seemed maybe to some degree a political edge at times to the Cadence Noir sound. I mean, it sounds like Ramona is one in particular, and Morning After Fucking Disaster. It seemed like maybe could that perhaps point to the fact that you didn't think Brexit is a very good plan?
Oh dear me, what gave it away, bro?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I mean, just this sort of a song titled Ramona, and then this Morning After, and it's a disaster. I mean, maybe it was a disaster that the vote wasn't high enough in favour of Leave. I mean, it's entirely.
Dude. Like I said, this is like I said, we've been together for a long time, and we have a song called Hammered and Sickened, and that was written shortly after we all felt it, the inevitable result of when Boris got in. Me and Emma, we're both active Labour Party members. We both specifically joined to vote for Corbyn, and so the lyrics in the chorus specifically reference JC being absolutely berated, being called a terrorist sympathiser in Parliament. That said, the chorus line, "Don't dare lay a wreath in memory of feats committed in freedom's cause," which was a reference to him laying the wreath in Palestine. We played a song that I love. We always specifically play it after Ramona as well. And it's a song that calls out, Piers Morgan and the vegan sausage rolls jibe, when we're like, my life's not your life, and his life's not her life, but all of our lives intertwined. We very much, it's not intentional, but when I write lyrics,
if it's something that you feel passionate about, obviously, then you're going to want to write lyrics that reflect your feelings on things. And do you think when you've been, do you think people have caught on to what you're actually singing about in Ramona, or do people just not latch onto the lyrics fast enough to know what you're on about? I just sort of wondered what the reactions to it might have been if you'd have found that maybe since people have seen how tits up everything's gone since, that maybe there's been more sympathy for it than before. Just sort of curious as to what the mood might be. But I mean, I suppose if you're playing to, I don't know, it may vary with.
You can say if you're playing to 5 people in an empty pub, it goes over their heads. It's fine, dude.
Yeah. Speaking nothing of Nottingham, of course. What do you think of the sort of? It was kind of a bit bizarre setting in Nottingham, really, wasn't it? The whole sort of. Have you ever seen Hedwig and the Angry Inch? This fabulous, glamorous performer. Performing in these really sort of banal diners where people are eating generic meals and sort of a rather average audience. It felt a little bit like that at times in Nottingham, which was a peculiar experience.
To be honest, like I said, Nottingham, Manchester, and strangely Shropshire are the only three places where we can generally ram a gig out. You generally find the rock crowd. Most of the people like you saw, most of the kids who are about on Saturday night, they're all generally on our level.
Yeah.
You get a few angry old gammon bikers who might, sprout up, get over it. You lost after we've played Ramona or something. It's generally like we've been very lucky in that, now and again, like maybe the bike ride later this year, we played main stage at O2 in Sheffield in December, and there was like 1,800 people in there, and I did the same line you heard me say, who remembers Brexit?
Yeah.
And you always get, you hear the groans from the cunts who are just like, oh no. And I'm the one who calls it out. I'm like, those of you that just groaned, you're only groaning because you know it went tits up.
Yeah.
Or something. I antagonise something along those lines.
It's only too right. It's been an absolutely ridiculous situation, and Farage has got his bank account done. Right. So in terms of the performance aspect of Cadence Noir, I think you really explode so wonderfully on stage. Was it a conscious decision to really put on a big show, sort of this idea of like an expansive performance? Because some artists might sound really good and so forth, but maybe can be a little static on stage and not necessarily exciting, whereas Cadence Noir really gets out there and grabs you by the throat and absolutely fills the venue with sound and people as well, because there are a few of you, but sometimes I suppose it can vary. But yeah, was it a conscious decision to try and make it big, or did it just seem to happen to occur naturally?
So honestly, Emma would sum this up. The phrase she uses is, we play every gig like it's Wembley.
Yeah.
It's like, we know we're not stupid. We've been doing this for 12 years. We formed the band specifically because we'd given up on trying to get anywhere. We just play the show. Like I said, when when we're playing to three people, in our heads, we're playing to fucking the biggest room in the world. We're just there to play, be a band on stage, be that big persona, be ourselves, really.
Enjoy yourself.
I mean, this outfit wouldn't be practical. Sorry, I was just saying, like I said, we just go big basically for the sheer hell of it. If we play in a big stage, we've been lucky enough to do 3 or 4 of them, we will still play that same show at a pub in Oldham, like this Saturday, for instance.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, and that's without doubt the way to go about it. I mean, I always try and do similar sort of aspect, to try and put on as big a show as possible, no matter how many people are there and the size of the venue. I mean, certain performances, if I've got a bit longer, I often include a costume change in my set, so that's kind of fun.
Well, a costume strip in your case at the weekend.
Yes, I mean that happens no matter what, but yes, I mean, certainly at the end there. I mean, I don't often end sets in gold pants, but when I do it fabulously, I think. But I think the way you leave the stage and so forth and the band sort of spills off the stage into the audience is something that really helps sort of with the whole engagement. I presume that would have been a little bit hard to do at Bloodstock, but
yeah, like I said, Tom, back when we first started, we used to bollock him because Tom's got his wireless. Like when we first started, literally he would go out running around the audience with his bass. You're just like, oh, for fuck's sake. But if I'm being honest, I know Saturday was fun. I think, Tom, there may have been a degree of frustration. We were hoping for a much bigger crowd on Saturday night.
Yeah.
First time playing that venue, we were doing a favour for the promoter. And as it happens, like I did mention to you, we did it because Tom asked us to. Like, I'm not a fan of this particular promoter. We'd done a show for us where he'd not been good with the money, should we say.
Right. And
we'd rammed him, played the tap and tumbler for him. And I think Tom was just frustrated because he hoped it'd be a much better night.
Yeah.
I think of anger in him stomping around like that, to be honest.
Right. So what we were actually witnessing really was just the natural emotion exploding out of Cadence Noir and the pure fury. Perhaps it enhanced the show. Who knows? So what's your favourites of your tracks that you've done, and what aspects do you think people should really get to know, that maybe some of the more quieter moments perhaps?
So one song that we don't often play at all, sadly, is on our very first EP. It's called A Coffee Shop Romance, and it sounds cheesy, but this is true. I'd been courting Emma for like a year, and I'd basically given up on getting her, and I wrote her a song which is Coffee Shop Romance, and entirely by fluke I was at a house party with her 2 days later, and my mate made me play it for her. And I'm not saying it worked, but I woke up next to her the following day. And 12 years later, here we still are.
Well, that sounds
we very rarely get to play that one live, because that said, it's a country ballad if you listen to it.
Yeah.
We very rarely play a gig where it kind of suits. Like our last 3 or 4 shows, as you've seen, we've been playing with metal bands or heavier end shit.
Yeah.
It's only when, like, for instance, we played Map Fest, which was a folk and blues specific festival. We headlined that in a place called Malvern Common last month. That was great. We got to play it there because, like I said, that was more a folk thing. We do have, like I said, we have a song called A Dove Amongst Eagles, which I don't know if you noticed, I had a second guitar on stage. 1 second. This.
Oh, yes.
And as it happens, that is my first guitar. She's 25 years old. She's been with our guitarist Nick, who's a guitar tech, for the last 6 months until he's finally had room to fix it. We have a massive ballad called A Dove Amongst Eagles, where I get to do like a needlessly long 2-minute fucking guitar shred solo. And I don't know if you remember during the set, like we stopped and I started doing this because the DJ was bleeding from upstairs.
Right, I see.
Yeah, so we were going to play it there, and it was just like, it's such a quiet song.
Yeah.
Dave doesn't go big on the drums. He gets his brushes out, and it was like, there's no way we could have played it with the fucking DJ bleeding through the ceiling. You know what I mean?
You can't exactly do a sensitive ballad if someone's going dump 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 from upstairs.
Yeah.
It was a little peculiar.
So,
there was
if you're interested in our band, if you'd like to hear what I can do on guitar when I feel like it, the guitar solo in Dove Amongst Eagles is great.
I could tell from your set anyway, it was quite clear you were very, very skilled, unlike my sort of ham-fisted play whatever I can put my fingers on at any one time, just make a racket myself. But yeah, I mean,
it's great. I don't know if it's your intention. Do you remember a guy called Alec Empire?
Yeah, I know Alec Empire. Yeah.
So I had a brief stint in my late teens when I was into like Wumpscut, VMV Nation, Combi Christ, and all that type of thing, and Pigface, 9 Inch Nails. And yeah, like I said, we all really enjoyed your show.
Well,
who's your guitarist?
I have several different ones that sort of, I tend to have a band in various locations, and I'm just sort of the only constant because I'm required for the vocals. But like my guitarist, Mr. Hex, Andrew Haunt. Check out Planet Hex YouTube channel for sort of geekery. He joined me. That's his 3rd show with me, and he'd not done many of those tracks before. He had an interesting moment during the 3rd track where his guitar suddenly sort of decided to detune massively on one of the strings, so he had to suddenly adapt his performance. But yeah, he's an incredible sort of shredder guitarist when he wants to be as well. So,
yeah, I could see from his technique he's got the chops, like.
Absolutely. He's been in sort of several bands and stuff before, but sort of some of them didn't end so well, so he got the chance again to be in bands with John Doyle Band, and he's having a great time whenever we start playing. I've got a gig in London at a Saturday next week. Not much until September after then. Maybe I can actually write some new songs or something instead of trying to rely on an EP I released about 3 years ago. But, yeah, and so you're in Oldham this Saturday.
Yes, then we're playing Bromsgrove. It's technically a private do. It's called Marestock. We're playing an indoor festival. It's basically a social club on the 29th. And then we're playing the Avernus Bike Rally somewhere in around the Lake District on like the August Bank Holiday weekend, Saturday the 26th. And then, like yourself, we don't have much on the calendar till October, November now.
Yeah. So I'll make sure I give people links to that sort of thing. Anything in particular you'd like to add before we wrap this up now?
Yes, if you're interested in buying any of our physical CDs, we have 3 records available, and they're all on our Bandcamp. It's cadencenoir.bandcamp.com. And yep, that's about it. And obviously, follow us on all the bullshit social media channels, Facebook, Insta. Tom does all of that, but we're on all of them. I'm reliably informed.
Yes, and no one gets to see any of your posts because they all get hidden from people because they're about music. That's about the way.
Yeah, pretty much.
Anyway, it's been a pleasure to talk to you, and I thought you were absolutely fantastic on Saturday. And I hope indeed that our paths do cross again, because I think we can, and I can always rehearse Vagabonds next time so that I might actually be able to do it properly as opposed to the...
You got it right. The only bit you missed was the middle eight at the end, of watching as a young boy alone on the quayside.
Yeah, I mean, it's just amazing. So many times I've DJ'd that track, and yet somehow it all goes out of your head when you want to actually perform it live. But I'll give
fun.
people...
You did a great job.
And I also possibly had your microphone the wrong way round. I'm not sure. It sounded a bit muffled.
Yeah, I saw your post. Did you honestly do that? It's the flat bit you want, not the round bit.
Yeah, I'd no idea, you see. So it was just absolute chaos, but it was kind of fun anyway. I'd always wanted to do that, but sort of never had opportunity. And then when I do, I mess it up anyway. Next time. Maybe I should pop over to
I'll put a sticker on it next time, like vocals here.
Yeah. Sing here. Anyway, I wish you all the best, and it's absolutely fabulous to meet you. You're all absolutely splendid people, and hopefully we can have some fun together again sometime. So I'm going to play your lyric video next, and I'll give people links and so forth to where they can find your stuff. So I'm going to...
hang on, can you possibly just wait? I've just heard the front door. Can you give us like another 10 seconds?
Oh, I might consider it,
Emma, run up to those questions.
We can fix all this in post, right?
Sorry, the violinist has finally arrived. Apologies.
Fashionably late.
Traffic on Thursday night. Emma can briefly say hello, hopefully.
Hello, Emma. Nice to see you again. It was just wrapping things up, unfortunately, but you were all absolutely fabulous on Saturday, and just saying, I do hope our paths will cross again, as it was absolutely a spectacular show from you. You were all just so incredibly powerful and entertaining in what you did. And sort of, even though it's not sort of a style I would normally have sort of listened to, I think the way you put it all across so well, and your performance, and also I nearly forgot to mention there was a fabulous amount of thigh boots around on Saturday night.
There were many good boots that night.
Yeah, we were all wearing absolutely splendid boots, it seems. So that was absolutely wonderful. I think it was good to meet fellow thigh boot wearers indeed. So unfortunately I'm rather running out of time, so we just have to say hello.
Time to talk to it, man.
Well,
thank you.
After Saturday, I just felt I just had to have a chat with you about things and give you a bit of a push. Not that I'm necessarily much of a significant influencer or anything, but I do my part, and I always want to celebrate people who put on a really good show, which you absolutely do. So people absolutely need to go and see you. So thank you very much for joining me. I'm going to pop on your video about owls next. And people in the chat have said things like, we just love what you're doing, and that sort of thing. So
thank you very much. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, right. Anyway, so we're going to have something about weighing owls now. So that sounds exciting.
Cheers, bro. See you later.
Bye.
fight to bother anyway. The pain of life gets in the way, so I'll go back to sleep. The traffic's hell and work is worse. The fuck I do to earn this curse. Not like there's weight within my purse, so I'll go back to sleep. Self-belief, a million chains that shackle me to hopes and dreams that I can't reach. Now I will free myself when I said, hey, I'm on my knees and hey, and I can't see my way. It's only me, and I will free myself. Self-belief, a million chains that shackle me to hopes and dreams that I can't reach. Now I will free myself. I can find my self-belief, a million chains that shackle me, hopes and dreams that I can't reach. Now I will free myself, and I say, I'm on my knees and I can't see my way. It's only me, and I will free myself.
So that was Cadence Noir. Do check them out. Got shows in Oldham and various places this weekend. So, right, I need to get us some promo done for next week's activities. So, here's going to be a bit of spew. Let's see, let's spew with Stickman. going to move on from that. We're going to get straight on and get a bit of punk disco on. Here we go. Punk disco, bleach scented skin.
Love bites from refugees, bruises from war casualties. A rich banker that lines my pocket, Viagra fueled love rockets. A black man that likes white trash, don't take plastic, just cash. Smoker that likes to kiss, the taste of tar on his lips. Bleach scented skin hides where I've been. Chlorine reaves the traces, but I still see their faces. Peroxide stings my eyes, forget about the guys. Bleach scented skin, bleach scented skin. His wife watch, an economist who keeps checking his watch. Broken rib from a policeman's fist, a refusing to pay communist. Cigarette burns inflicted by a judge sadistic, faking a look of surprise as I slowly undo a tailor's flies. Bleach scented skin hides where I've been. Chlorine reaves the traces, but I still see their faces. Peroxide stings my eyes, forget about the guys. Bleach scented skin, bleach scented skin. A Red Cross worker that likes to torture, a father pretending I'm his daughter, an anarchist who talks to revolt with his hand on my head, making me choke. A football hooligan who's loving and kind, an amputee, the mute, the blind, crying guilt from a Hells Angel biker, a car salesman who calls me mother. Bleach scented skin hides where I've been. Chlorine removes the traces, but I still see their faces. Peroxide stings my eyes, forget about the guys. Bleach scented skin, bleach scented skin. A criminal with his dirty trick, an MP with his politics, a pacifist who likes inflicting pain, a junkie with collapsed veins, bruises and bite mark, a loser with a broken heart, scratches across my face, a vicar who retired in disgrace, a soldier, a sailor, a corrupt blackmailer, my teacher from primary school, a perjurer that breaks the rules, a mechanic with dirty nails, splits my lip, blood trails, a doctor who makes me swallow pills, a psychiatrist who sucks my toenails. Bleach scented skin hides where I've been. Chlorine removes the traces, but I still see their faces. Peroxide stings my eyes, forget about the guys. Bleach scented skin, bleach scented skin. Bleach scented skin hides where I've been. Chlorine removes the traces, but I still see their faces. Peroxide stings my eyes, forget about the guys. Bleach scented skin, bleach scented skin.
Right, and that was Punk Disco, Bleach Scented Skin, but now Tantrum Zentrum, Don't Be a Fascist. Hey, I've got one of those keyboards.
Do you remember King Peter, who fled and left the country to the ether? That's when you left me high, I left my head to freeze and my heart to wither. Oh, was crying and crying was your mama, 'cause he lied to you and seduced you high. Don't have trouble. Don't be a fascist, honey, don't be a fascist. Don't be a fascist, honey, don't be a fascist.
brilliant. Right, that's it. That's all I've got time for today. So until next time, hopefully next week or something, I'll do a bit more of this sort of thing. So yeah, that was what it was. Go see Cadence Noir. Come and see me on Saturday 29th of July at the Hope and Anchor in Islington. So more of that later. Follow us all on various social medias if you haven't already. But if you're here, I assume you have. Right, okay, bye for now.